Okie dokie. Hey folks, Matt Durrant on Facebook. Hey mate, long time. I think it's your turn to come around ours this time, Matt. I don't. You can't talk. I'm not even sure if I can see comments on this Facebook Live. But hey ho. Right. We'll be starting at 12, folks. I'm just getting Shizzle ready. Okay. So who do we have? Hey, everyone on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah, I'm still sort of trialing all of this multi-platform streaming. I still don't like any of them other than Zoom. So, and my throat is nuts. It's nuts. It's what, midday, and I've already done 3.5 hours of Zooming today. I'm absolutely knackered. I've been last night, I think we finished playing Age of Empires at like 2 in the morning. And then I had to get up for an 8 o'clock Zoom. That was 2 hours long. And then I've just finished an hour and a half Zoom. And then, yeah. So, yeah, knackered. Right, 1 minute to roll, and then we'll crack on. Can't get rid of this bloody frog out my throat. Who do we have? We've got some people on YouTube. Whoever's on the Facebook Live, can you just say something in the comments? I'm not sure if I can actually see any comments. Stuart says, you seriously need to get to bed earlier. No. No, I will not go to bed earlier. I got to play games. Yeah, I still haven't seen. Yes, Tony says hello on YouTube, so on Facebook, so I can actually see you guys. Right, 12 o'clock. Let's crack on. Today we are going to talk about, is business really worth the crazy effort and the money and the time risk and all of that hoo-ha? And this was actually inspired by someone that was on the session yesterday, Robbie Puzo, and he's not even here. I said I'd cover this session today, and he's not even here. God damn it. Yeah, so we're just going to wait a few minutes. Normally, although I say 12 o'clock, let's crack on, it takes a few minutes for people to straggle in. Right. Has anyone got anything interesting to share? Anything new, strange, or dangerous? Robbie's on Facebook. Hey, mate, you're here. Right. This whole session is dedicated to your question from yesterday, mate. So let's start. Yeah, let's start properly now. Is getting into business really worth the crazy effort and the money and the health risk? So before we share the screen, if you're on Facebook, I would highly recommend go onto my Facebook profile and finding the Zoom link for here, because I'm going to be sharing my screen. And if you're on Facebook, you won't be seeing my screen. So here we go. Let's share the screen. Those on YouTube will be able to see this. And some probably actually seen what I'm about to say. In fact, I say a lot of the same things all of the time. So if you've been around a while, you've probably seen it. So yesterday, Robbie said, is there much point in setting up a business? Because there's so much like, it's a massive ball ache. Or if you're a girl, it's a massive boob ache. There's so much you have to do. And a lot of people sitting on the sidelines thinking, it would be nice to have my own business. you can sort of get lulled into the fantasy of it all. Because you're like, oh, it would be great to have a little side hustle that chucks out, an extra 500 quid a month or £1,000 a month, or just a full-time business, full stop. And there's a lot you have to do in business. And what happens is, like, most people go, okay, I need some stock, then I'm going to sell it. So they'll spend some time and money, they'll buy the stock, they'll get everything ready. They may then go, okay, I now need a website. So they'll go down the website route. They'll have a website. And they'll all of a sudden, this is what most people do when they get into business. They're like, oh, okay, so I got all this stock, I got a website, but no one's buying anything. Oh shit, I've now got to sell from my website. How do I do that? And so you go down the whole route of Stripe or PayPal. Okay, I've now got a Stripe and PayPal account. Now what do I need to do? I need to set up a payment gateway, all that sort of stuff, and create a buy button, etc. And then you're like, okay, now finally, after months or hours of work or whatever, I don't know how fast you're gonna move. It's like, I can now sell online. Okay, everything is ready. Why is no one buying? Oh shit! I thought I would just set up my website, have some fancy pictures, and people would buy my product. No, okay, no sales. Shit, the phone's not ringing, getting no emails. What do I do? Okay, I'm gonna hammer all my friends and family. Look at my new business, buy my shit. Your friends and family start avoiding you for a bit because they're like, oh, fucking hell, Simon's here. He's going to try to sell me something, or, and so your friends and family will just start avoiding you. And then you're like on Facebook, buy my shit. And this is what everyone does. And then, fast forward a bit down the road, you've got, £5,000 worth of stock. You haven't sold any. You probably sold 10 units out of pity purchases. Your mum's bought 5 of them, and you're like, this business rubbish is rubbish. Like, you see all these YouTubers talking about how easy business is. Yeah, I've set everything up. I've got a business. Well, I've got all this stock. I can't sell shit. And then then that is like the beginning of, your learning curve. Hasn't even started yet. And so this is why in the WAP map, we have that business checklist thing. It literally shows you what you need to do in the right order. But going back to what Robbie said, like, is it worth doing? Because he said, I forgot your exact words yesterday, Robbie, but you said something like, isn't it far easier just to, trade, lend money, and buy and hold crypto? And yeah, I guess it is. I mean, if you have no money, you can't do any of the lending stuff. But yeah, you can put some money in crypto, sit on it, hodl, or go all in on SafeMoon or Doge, I don't know. And then, yeah, you can trade. But the thing is, you're not going to get rich from trading. You're not. And I know this seems a bit weird. Like, I am the realistic trader, and I teach people how to trade. But the fact of the matter is, you're not going to get rich from trading. Trading and investing is simply an amplifier of the capital that you already have. That is it. If you've got a £5,000 account, you can give that £5,000 account to the best trader in the world who, let's say makes 20% a year. Well, after 5 years, that account is still not going to be much. It's not going to be a life-changing amount. And that's if the best trader in the world started with a £5,000 account and wasn't being aggressive. Obviously, you can make any account. You can be aggressive on an account and grow it. But if you're trading properly, yeah, it's just a slow amplifier. However, if you're trading £1 million account and making 20% a year, all of a sudden trading gets sexy. But obviously, I'm not going to go into trading because, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things there. But so when you look at, I guess, the whole world of, money and how you can make it, like I've done loads of live sessions on this. So I'm just going to breeze through the previous stuff I've spoken about. But business is the only one that gives you the quickest cash flow. It's a lot of work, but I've got this sort of question logic train that we're going to go through. So first of all, you need to start with this question. Are you unhappy with your income and would like more? Oh my God, I can't talk today. Are you unhappy with your income and would you like more? So most people, the answer is I'm unhappy and I would like more. Okay. I think it's fair to say probably 90%, at least 90% of people would say, yeah, I'm unhappy and I'd like more income. However, let's look at the minority here who say, no, I am happy with my income and I don't want more. I don't think I've ever met someone that said that in person. But let's just sometimes, you have those goody two-shoe people going, oh no, money isn't everything, and blah, I'd rather be happy than rich and all that bullshit. And it is bullshit. It really is. People who say that have never been rich. People who say that have never had any money. It's pure bullshit. I'm going to say that again. It's bullshit. I've been poor and I've been rich. And I can tell you now, when you're poor and rich, it's way less bad than when you're poor and unhappy. Sorry, I can't talk. I've been poor and unhappy, and I've been rich and unhappy. And I'm telling you now, being rich and happy is much, much better than being poor and unhappy. When you're poor and unhappy, you've got real problems. Your real problems are paying rent and mortgage, buying food. You have no hot water. You have, real problems. Can't afford money to feed your kids. Your clothes like your kids' clothes are tattered. Like, they're real problems. When you're rich and unhappy, you don't have those problems. Like, and it's nuts. Like, I'm sat in a £2 million house right now, and sometimes I am unhappy. I know it may appear like seeing me on these live sessions, oh, Simon's always happy. I'm not. I'm just a normal bloke, and we all have cycles of happiness and unhappiness. And but I'm telling you now, it's, it's much better being, affluent and having money and being unhappy, because you can do stuff like, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that fact. I just want to say that people that say that, it's pure bullshit. They just don't understand money. Money is an inanimate object, and your opinions on money is no different than your opinion on a freaking pen on your table. It's an inanimate object. It's all on the person. It's them projecting their inner beliefs and their negative self-limiting perceptions and stuff. So money and a pen, no different. So let's talk about, so get back to the point. Oh God, I always go off on a tangent here. So for the people that say, no, I am happy with my income and I don't want more, here's the answer. Nice one. Keep doing your thing. That is the answer. Okay. So now let's look at everyone else who will, if they're honest, will go, yeah, I'm unhappy with my income and I would like more. And guess what? I am unhappy with my income and I do want more. And I guess that's one of the curses of your wealth generation journey. You get more, your lifestyle acclimatizes to your new level, and then you're like, shit, I want more. And guess what? You then start making different friends. Like, I've now got friends that have private jets, and I'm like the poor person in the group. And they're like, Simon, when you getting your jet? It's on order in 10 years' time. Yeah. And so all of a sudden you start hanging around with different people, and all of a sudden you feel like a freaking pleb compared to them. And so, you go from thinking, oh, I'm actually happy with where I am. And then you see what the other half live. And you're like, oh, actually, maybe I should expand my goals, perhaps. And guess what? Like Jim Rohn said, I think it was Jim Rohn originally that said it, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around with the most. And it's so true. And I don't know, my hairdresser has been waterboarding, surfing, where you hold on back, skis, back of a boat, whatever that's called, water sliding. I don't know. He's been doing it since he was 7 years old. And yeah. And guess what? He's in the seniors Team GB. He's like 56, but he's in Team GB. And I was like, and guess what? He hangs around other Team GB people. So he's always going to get better because he's hanging around other Team GB water skidders. And so, yeah. Whereas if I started getting into water sliding, surfing, whatever it is, like, who am I going to hang around with? Like, my mates, and none of us have ever done it before. I don't even know the word, what it's called. So, and I think this extends to everything. We've got an Age of Empires. I've probably said this every day that I play Age of Empires. But yeah, we've got a little WhatsApp group called the Geek Club, and there's a whole bunch of people playing Age of Empires with all different standards. And it's interesting. So we all started pretty shit, but I guess there's the core 5 or 6 of us who've been playing it for solidly for 2 months now, and I think we're a pretty good standard now. Obviously, if we go up against a professional, we're going to get our asses handed to us, but we're good. So when we get a new person entering the group and we play with them, there is a massive difference. Like, and it's only because, you know, we're growing together. And now it's a case of we're always trying to be like, who's MVP, most valuable player in that game, and LVP, least valuable player, Thomas Chapman. If he can see this. Anyway, let's go back to this. God, another bloody tangent. I want more. Okay. Next question. Over the next 5 to 10 years, would you like to be taking home over £7,000 per month? Seems like an arbitrary number, but when you if you check out UK salary calculator, etc. I think when I did this, when I wrote these slides, these doodles months ago, but I think if you have 150k salary, you're only taking home £7,000 a month, because you're bleeding out of your ass with tax. That's why. PAYE income is the worst type of income. Like, you're taxed up the yin yang. So over the next 5 to 10 years, would you like to be taking home over £7,000 per month? Again, let's go to the people that say, no, I don't want that money. Well, what's the answer for them? The answer is, cool, that's absolutely fine. Your best course of action is to try and up-level yourself so you can become more valuable to your job in order for promotion. If you know, just keep doing your thing. If you're happy doing your thing, great, do your thing. There's no rights or wrongs in life. However, if you do want to be taking home more than £7,000 a month within a 5 to 10 year time frame, you've got to do something different. You can't just turn up to work every day and expecting to do that. And when you look at the job landscape, very, very few roles out there pay 150k a year. I think the Prime Minister is on 150k. And in order to get into a big company that does pay 150k, you're going to have to be there for 10, 15, maybe 20 years to become, you know, the COO or the CEO. So it is literally the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. Like, it's statistically, you're not going to get there in a job. Statistically speaking, just like statistically, you're not going to win the lottery. So if you do want more than £7,000 a month, take home, not salary, take home, you got to do different things. Okay, that means you 100% need to become a business owner. It really is the only way. It really is the only way. So the next question is, do you have a potential idea of what biz you could do? Now, the answer for most people is no. And if you do, it's the same. It leads you to the same place. If you have an idea or you don't have an idea, it still leads you to the same place. Cool. It then leads me. Let me introduce you to the new business owner risk to reward seesaw. So here is the seesaw. For those on Facebook, you can't see this, but imagine a seesaw. And on one side of the seesaw is this. Here are all the cons of setting up a business and becoming a business owner. You will lose lots of time and money, 100%. You'll lose lots of friends and family, 100%. You'll become super stressed. Yep. You'll lose some health, if not lots of health. Yep. You'll lose all free time and hobbies to begin with. Yeah. For many years. In fact, let me rephrase that. You'll lose all of your free time and your free mental capacity and all of your hobbies for several years. That will happen. You will get less sleep. And you have chronic cash flow issues. Honestly, I don't think there's a single business that ever been that doesn't have cash flow issues. I still have cash flow issues, and I think I'm set up all right. So they're all the things that you don't really associate with becoming a new business owner. You'll get caught up in it all, and this is what you don't see from freaking Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone. Like, 10x it. Again, more bullshit. Like, this is all the stuff that I think you should teach. Like, this should be taught in schools. Like, and yes, there's so many cons to getting into business, but the pros massively dwarf the cons, massively. So that's one side of the seesaw. The other side of the seesaw is, you could possibly do really well in 5 to 10 years' time. So that is the risk to reward seesaw. You have all of that pain on one side, and then you have the sliver of chance that you could possibly do really well in 5 to 10 years. So this then goes down to Robbie's question from yesterday, and he said, is it really worth it? So this, okay. So as a business owner, you will get all sorts of bonuses in life, which you aren't on the tin. Like you won't know that you'll get these bonuses, but it will just naturally happen. You'll become a better thinker and problem solver, for sure, 100%. Business is basically a bag of bullshit and problems, which you then have to solve. That's all it is. You're constantly problem solving. There's issues every single day. No matter how many staff you have and how many systems, how many standard operating procedures you have, there will be problems because business is dynamic. You have staff, you have customers, you have suppliers, you have stock, you have all sorts of stuff. And because anything dynamic, when there's lots of variables, anything can happen, and it's just constant problems, and you just got to solve them, and then you got to get people that can solve them better than you. At the end of the day, with business, if you're the director or the business owner, you are the bottom of that shit funnel. You're the bottom of the shit funnel. Your staff, your team will filter out a lot of the shit, but some shit will get all the way to the bottom of the funnel that only the director can solve. So you are the backstop. You are the fullback. So next thing is financial safety and freedom. Eventually, if you can get business working, I guess you just have to enter the business world with the mindset that you will fail your first 2, 3, 4 businesses. So what? Video game, hit reset, redo the level until you win. Done. Simple as that. And when I say reset, I know I say it rather blasé and flippantly, but yeah, you'll lose money and you'll lose time, but just get over it. Okay, I've lost $5,000 on this bloody new startup. Doesn't work. I need to pivot. And I've lost, loads of time and money on it. So what? Stop living in the past. You can't change what you've just lost. You can only move forward. In fact, there have been times in my life where I didn't really have any problems in the military in terms of like catastrophic life events or anything. Or I've had a few close calls, but it's actually been in personal lives, like, being, like a passenger in a car crash and stuff like that. And like, there's been stuff that's happened where shit has happened. And then like my friends and family around me have gone, Simon, are you okay inside? You have like no emotions sometimes. Like something really bad will happen, and I literally won't dwell on it for even a second. Because what happens is, like, in fact, last night my kids had meltdowns from like, they wouldn't go to sleep from like 8 till, we put them to sleep, then they woke up at 8 and they didn't fall asleep until like 11 o'clock. And my wife was pulling her hair out because they were just constantly crying. And then eventually she called me up, and then like, what was I trying to say with this? Apparently I was just completely emotionless and like cold, not cold, but I wasn't stressed out by it because they were like really pulling our strings. But yeah, all these situations, people have said like, you're really cold, Simon, or unemotional. And the reason being is because I look at everything logically. And so yes, you're in a car crash. Can I still work? Can I move? Okay, yeah, fine. I don't dwell on the fact that we've just been hit by a truck. Like I go, okay, can we move? Can we get out? Like first port of call is get the hell out of Dodge. Like you need to get off the road. Can I move? Like, is your spine all right? Like just you like. Whereas a lot of people will go, they'd relive that crash over their head over and over and over again. You just got to move on. You just go, okay, you can't change the past. Just like in the market. In fact, the markets are way better examples. There have been times where I've lost ridiculous amounts of money. Sometime last year, I think I lost in the space of a week £108,000 in a week. And that was from a bad Dow trade and a bad oil trade. And like, Ellie went, and I think it happened in the space of a day or two. And then Ellie was like, you're a bit quiet today, Simon. I was like, yeah, I just lost 108 grand today. And she's like, oh, okay. What do you want for dinner? I was like, I don't know, whatever. And just move on. And she knows me by now that like I don't dwell in the past because that doesn't do anything. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just cannot stress enough that logic has literally been my savior. I'm not religious or anything, but logic solves everything, and I cannot stress that enough. It's just mindset. Since I became a devout logic follower, if that is a religion, Like it's helped so many aspects of life. You just go, okay, it happened, get on with it, just move on. So yeah, eventually we get. So let's get back to this. Sorry, I'm going off on one. So here, long story short, are all the things. I guess the side products, side benefits, financial safety and freedom, something to sell in the future / inheritance. Not, I don't like inheritance. I'm not even sure I want to leave my kids anything. It's a weird topic. I haven't made my mind up on that yet. I don't think I want to leave my kids anything. Simply because the best thing that you can part to your kids is a strong work ethic. And I think, I mean, I don't have an inheritance. If anything, I'm probably going to inherit the shitloads of debt my dad's probably getting up right now. But like, I don't know. I know a lot of brats. I went to school with a load of brats. You know, one guy rocked up in a Ferrari on his 18th birthday. He got a Ferrari for his 18th birthday. That's the level of brats and spoilt, entitled prats that I knew at school. And they don't have any work ethic because they know, you know, mummy and daddy going to leave me 50 million pounds when they die, or mummy and daddy have already got me a trust fund or whatever. And so there's no real hard work ethic. But then there are oddities where I know, you know, very wealthy kids who work their guts out. So I don't, it's one of my concerns. I don't want to raise spoilt brats. So in fact, we could probably talk about inheritance in another issue. But yeah, having a business, you can sell it. You can't sell a job. And options, it gives you options. That's the thing I like most about business. Options. Like, I control my diary. I control, like, you know, when I go to bed, when I have to wake up. Like tomorrow, I'm playing golf most of the day. I'm going to do a live session, then I'm going to bugger off and play golf. And then, like, I can do that. I can choose my work hours and stuff like that. So, and the options to, you know, go on holiday anywhere if I wanted. That's the thing. Now there's all sorts of other things mitigating that, and it does help others. It really does, because you can uplift the people that are working with you, so your staff, etc. And ultimately, I want to do good on the planet. And so when you again look at logic, if I want to help the most amount of people in the short amount of time I'm on the planet, how do I do that? Well, on one scale of the spectrum, I could go litter picking and helping random people, you know, one-to-one, which is great and it's wholesome and it's really fun to do. Or I can try and help 1 million people or 1 billion people, etc. And so if you then land your mind on the conclusion, okay, I want to help at least 1 million people, or I want to save 1 million dolphins or 1 million refugees or whatever, 1 million or billion. If you want to help on a grand scale, how the hell do you do that? You need freaking money. That's the thing. Money is the oil. It's the lubricant of the planet. And as I said, money is an inanimate object like a pen, and what you do with it matters. So if, you know, you ever land in the situation where, you know, actually your calling in life is actually just to help as many people as you can, well, the first thing you need to do is sort your shit out and sort out your boat. You can't help anyone if you're drowning. So so that's why. So I know some people think, you know, I've been called, Simon, you're a capitalistic pig. All you care about is money. Well, only people that say that are people that don't know me. And the only reason I want money is options. So I can do shit. So I can do things. I can, you know, like one of my projects that I want to do is 3D construction printing. So right now, and I don't have enough money to do this at the moment. I don't have enough money to do it. But there's some really sexy things going on with 3D construction printing. So the last time I checked, there's a company in America. Is it Minos? I can't remember. They've now, I think they've broken the record. They printed a 600 square foot house in 3 hours. And the cost was like negligible. They printed a house in 3 hours. That is insane. I'm looking at Tom here, who's literally just underneath my face here. Tom's a house builder. You build houses, right? You were building one yesterday or the other day. So, in fact, Tom, can you unmute yourself? How long would it take you and your brother to build a 600 square foot house?
Probably, I'd say 3 weeks, something like 3-4 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's quicker than I thought, actually. How many people is that? Just 2 people or a bunch of subbies with you?
Yeah, it'd be 2 and 1. So two bricklayers and a labourer.
And is that just for the shell?
That's just the
3D?
shell. Yeah, mine.
Oh,
That's just up to plate height. Yeah, that's not that's the shell. That's the brickwork done.
okay. All right. That's actually a lot faster than I thought. But yeah, cheers, mate. So where I'm going with the 3D construction printing is that this is an exponential tech, and this is only going to improve. So when you really get into it and you look at the likely progression of 3D construction printing over the next 5 to 10 years, it's highly likely that we're going to be able to print a 600 to 1,000 square foot house in minutes, and we'll be able to print skyscrapers within a day. Like that's how ridiculous it is. And so my instant thought was not like, oh, amazing, we're going to make so much money here, or it's going to kill the property market, or whatever. My first thought was that there's roughly 2 million refugees in Europe at the moment. Well, they're living in shanty tents at the moment. If you go to Calais, it's like freaking homeless central. Like in every country, there's a massive, homeless problem or a refugee problem. And so let's, fast forward 5 years where the tech's got a lot better. Well, imagine if you could print a town of houses in the space of a week for minimal cost. You could literally go to a government and say, look, I could print 1,000 houses in the next week. They're going to be earthquake proof, tsunami proof, whatever proof. They're going to protect the people from, the elements, whether it's hot sun or freezing cold, whatever. And it's only going to cost 100 grand to print 1,000 houses or something, something stupid like that. Like the governments are just going to go, yeah, done. Just get over here as fast as you can. So of course, yeah, you can add a margin and make profit out of it, but ultimately you could, there's no reason why we can't just get every homeless person off the streets, or help refugees, or help people, like there's so many things. Arvina said, my big dream is agritech. Yeah, I again, imagine being able to print a skyscraper in a week and turning that skyscraper into a massive vertical farm. This is where you get cross-pollination of techs. This is where my mind's at. This is what I want in life. I want to be playing with, a cross-pollination of technologies. Just imagine how many people, if you could print a skyscraper, and in fact, not even a skyscraper, let's say a 10-story building, print it in a week, and you fill it with the world's best vertical farming hydroponics. The amount of, grocery output you can get in a very small footprint is insane. There's no need to, buy your avocado from freaking Brazil and have, 1,000 air miles to get your avocado or whatever. I know. Is it Mexican avocados? I can't remember. Like when you can just grow it. Like imagine having a skyscraper vertical farm in every town. Like for one thing, it drives costs down. Avocado prices could halve. And then there's a trader in me going, right, if you do that, you can then start shorting shit and whatever. But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. So I just want options. So business gives you that. Now, so here's where the disconnect happens. And I meet people like this. They're like, oh man, Simon, I love all these ideas. Yeah, I'm with you. I want robotics. I want this. I want that. I want to do this too. But then there's an action disconnect there because they don't do anything to get to that position. Like they're like, okay. And then, they stay in their job. And so it's a case of, talking versus walking. Now, I could literally just kick my feet up right now and, chill out for the rest of my life. But then I won't be able to do any of these projects. And so I just want to do, and the reason I want to do this is because life is like a computer game. Why not up level? When was the last time you played, Mario Kart, Mario or Zelda or, any of these games and gone, actually, I'm happy on level 3. Like, and you just stop, like, you just giving up. And when you start checking out on life and just giving up, then yeah, I don't know. So I'll get off my high horse now. And by the way, I probably won't get there. I may not get there. I may never get the monetary levels that I want to do it. Who knows? But I'll keep trying. Here we go. But here's the next question that I hear. But isn't it super silly or risky to set up a business now due to lockdowns and COVID and all that sort of stuff? Yes and no. All we know, I mean, I would say now is actually a really good time, because this has given us like the whole lockdown stuff from last year, this year, and then again we'll be locked down in winter again. 100%. I promise you, we'll be locked down in winter again. All this is showing us the business models not to do. That's it. Do I want to set up a bricks and mortar retail shop? Hell no. Do I want to set up anything in the travel related industry? No, I don't. Like, do I want to set up a cinema? No, definitely not. Like, it's showing us what models not to do. So, okay, set up a business that is not affected by, lockdowns. Great. It's basically online stuff. And there's all sorts of things you can do. So now is actually a really good time, especially there's lots of capital sloshing around. Well, I say that it's hard to actually get your hands on it. I'm still trying to raise loans. I want to borrow more money. I'm trying to borrow 100 grand to scale My Fairy Pen Pal with Ellie. I want to borrow more money so I can put in crypto. Some may say it's risky, but I know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's harder than you think. So what was I going to say? So yes and no. I can argue both ways. But the thing is, it goes back to, are you still curious or open-minded or interested about getting into business? Or if it's not, then great, cool, that's absolutely fine. Your best course of action is to try and up-level yourself, become more valuable to your job in order for promotion, yada, yada. Just do what you do. Be happy. That's fine. But if you do, yeah, and you do still want to get into business, then you need to go to this next bit, which is before you do anything, it's prudent and logical to embark on a little fact-finding / due diligence, so you don't spin your wheels in an inappropriate business model or scam. So, where am I going with this? So, in a basic knowledge, so some basic knowledge you'll need in a nutshell. The best, most feasible business model these days, you need to find out what that is. Business models and things and scams to avoid, how to find your business idea, how to actually set it up and launch it. And then when you really get into, the knowledge things, you need to know about offline marketing, online marketing, hiring, firing staff, and training staff. You need to, there's so many assets to model, facets to business. It's nuts. Yeah, so it's a massive effort. It is a massive ball ache. But if you're prepared to eat shit for the next 5 years, you can eat caviar for the next 50 years. That's the way I see it. I don't even like caviar. The thought of it puts me off. Fish eggs. Ugh. So I'd rather, a waffle. You put. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm going to have some toasted waffles. Those microwavable waffles? Coming to I buy so many of them, have them every day, pop them in the toaster, yum. So yeah, I guess that's that. I've sort of gone off on one, but I think going back to Robbie's thing, is it worth it? From my perspective, yes, it is. As long as you're prepared to eat shit for the first 5 years. And every successful business owner I know, even if they've started off well, they really don't get proper traction and proper money until the business is between year 5 and 10. That's typically when I sort of cast my mind on all the profitable business owners I know. It's when their business, or when they were sort of year 5 to 10 in their business journey, maybe not one business. And most business owners that I know that have sold for millions, that businesses have been running between year 10 and 15. So really, it's a 5 to 15 year play, folks. And worst case scenario, I've said this before, if you were to get a little seesaw and work out, the losses, etc. So you have 5, let's say you're really bad at business. You're just not cut out to be a business owner. And you do 5 years of heartache. Every business idea you do flops. You just can't you just keep losing money and time and stress. So let's say 5 years of pain. And then eventually you land on a business that's doing average. Okay, really distinctly average. Well, guess what? An average, really, a one-man band average biz, you're still taking home 60 grand a year, 5 grand a month. Like a really, really small micro business. So this is like worst case scenario. So let's say you end up with a one-man band, one-woman band business. And I know, let's call that take home. So you've now got £5,000 a month coming in, 5K per month. Surely that's better than most jobs out there. £5,000 a month. You've got to bust a gut for like 10, 20 years to get a job that pays £5,000 a month in the job market. But if you're a self-employed person, not at all. And again, if I lost everything and someone said, "This is what's going to happen, Simon," you either have 5 more years of pain, and then you'll only end up with a business that gives you £5,000 a month. Do you take that deal? Yes, all day long, because you then have the rest of your life having all these skill sets. And this is why I like the startup world, because when you look at how fast a business can grow, well, when you're operating between businesses that are doing, I don't know, 0 to, I would say, 20K per month profit, like you can grow those businesses really fast, anything from sort of 50 to 200% per year. When you get to businesses that are doing sort of 20K to 50 grand a month profit, all of a sudden you're going to be slowing down very quickly, and it'll be anything from sort of 25 to 50% per year on year growth. And then anything upwards, you're looking at sort of 10 to 25% growth year on year out. So again, look at that. Just look at the ROI there. The ROI is 50 to 200% ROI, all the way down to worst case scenario, champagne problem. Oh, my business is so big, it's only growing at 10% per year. Like, it's a massive champagne problem. Okay, let's say you've got a business that's doing 10, call even £1 million a year profit, and you're only growing by 10% per year. Okay, next year you're making £1.1 million profit. And I'm ignoring compounding here. The year after that, you're now making £1.2 million profit. Your life is so shit. You're only growing your wealth by 100 grand, 100 grand a year. Like, this is silly. So this is what, like, I sort of mentioned medium compounding yesterday, how, if you get your business to a nice chunky level where, let's say you're even doing, 10 grand a month profit. And let's say you're going to sit back, put your feet up a bit, and only grow your business at 10% a year. Well, 10 grand a month business, like after 10 years, you're still going to do really well. So yeah, Robbie, it freaking is worth the effort. 100%. I'd do it all over again. So let's chat now. Let's look at the comments in Zoom first. Zoom has priority. Stuart. Oh no, I'm not going to bed earlier. Alexander, question. Sorry, I'll talk about. Sorry, Alexander. I'm trying to keep this about business. I'm not going to go into crypto and stuff at the moment. Yeah, Rob, better to cry in a Lambo than to cry on a push bike. Yeah. I had an Vauxhall Astra once, and I had I've had 3 Aston Martins. I don't say it anymore, but I said it's much nicer to cry in your Aston than your Astra. But anyway, Arvina said, I'd rather be affluent and unhappy than poor and happy. Yeah. Sick of hearing money doesn't make you happy. I know. Waterboarding. Water skiing is probably it. Yeah. Fame. I've been approached by a couple of guys who have created a mental health support app. They've pumped their own money into it to get it started, got 100-ish users, no revenue. They want an investor developer to help them. I took a look at the app and they need help. I have the resources on tap at the moment, so it's not going to cost anything extra to help them, but they don't have money to pay me and are offering a percentage of the business, which is £0. I've seen this situation so many times. I get these offers all the time and say no. What's your thought process when evaluating stuff like this? Say no. The amount of businesses I've helped for no money and like, oh yeah, we'll give you, whatever percentage of the business or what, like, just don't. And I've actually been screwed over probably 3 times by not looking after myself on the front end. So I've gone in and gone, and they say, help us out. And then, when we start making, £2 grand a month profit, we'll give you a profit share of that. Or here is, have 20% of the business, help me out. Okay, so here's a real life case study here. And I took this guy to court and won. And I hate going to court. I hate it. I hate lawyers. Oh, no, I don't hate lawyers. I hate the legal system. But what happened is someone, I bought, what was it? 35% of a business for £1. This was when they had zero revenue, zero nothing. And I sort of liked their idea. I had the skill set to help them, et cetera, et cetera. And I helped them for the best part of 2 years. And we got that business from scratch to about £8,000 a month profit. We then had a meeting and I was like, right, we now got surplus profits in the business. I'm a 35% shareholder. I want to start making some money now. Let's sort out a dividend schedule here. And so that, oh yeah, okay. Long story short, I'm going to cut to the chase here. They liquidated the business. It was a brother and sister. They killed the business and then set up a brand new business without me. And then they stole the client base. Mother truckers, hey? Like they literally like that. And by the way, that will happen because money is an amplifier of your inner douchebag. If you're a douchebag and you come into lots of money, you're going to be a bigger douche. If you're not a douchebag, if you're a nice person and have lots of money, you'll be even nicer. So, and when I get into mergers and acquisitions, when I started playing around with, bigger companies, you find more dickheads in bigger business. It's true. I didn't for the first sort of 7 years of business, I thought that's a myth. I don't really see many bad business owners. I see shit business owners, people, like people say, oh, I'll do this, and they don't do it. Or, like a plumber saying, oh, I'll pop round tomorrow, and then they never pop round, or whatever. So, but I didn't really see many bad business owners, as in like morally bad people. But then when I started playing with buying businesses, where, there's 7 or 8 figure revenues, all of a sudden there's more money on the line. And so people are going, their inner douchebag weighs up that risk reward seesaw. It's like, do I screw Siam over? And if I screw Siam over, I'm going to save £1 million a year or whatever, or don't I? And they go, yeah, I'll take the money. Screw Siam. I've seen that. So, and this is another reason why I like playing around in the smaller scale. So fame, it's your call, mate. But if you do it, I would protect yourself in the front end and control everything so you don't get diluted. Because that's another thing. If you don't have control of the business, they could dilute you out. So they're like, right, we're going to issue an extra 1 million shares. And great, your 10 shares is now worth nothing, yeah. So Sam, you're really selling it, Siam. Yeah. Cash flow is the only thing that would stop me. Yeah. Okay. In that case, if you have no money at the moment, you need to set up a business where you make profit from day one. So whether it's a case of, yeah, so I guess straight away you're going to be into a service-based business. So yeah, in fact, here's another example. I knew a guy worked in, I won't say his name, worked in, I was going to say he worked in Arvina. No, he didn't. He worked in Aviva, in Norwich. He worked in Aviva, Norwich. He was an IT project manager, etc. And what happened, he wanted to get out into business, and he had a specialized part of IT. And I was like, how busy are you? And he was like, oh, I'm busy probably 1-2 days a week. And then I spend the rest of my week looking busy. I was like, oh, okay. So, and he was like, yeah, I project manage other coders and stuff. So I have tasks and things I need to do. I farm out all the work, and then I pretend I'm working for the rest of the week. I was like, well, why can't you do this on your own? And he was like, oh, I can't because of this, blah, blah, blah. And fast forward the story. I said, look, I think £5,000 a month is what he wanted. I was like, okay, well, find 10 clients to pay you £500 a month. Done. And we worked out how many clients he could have, and it was actually around 10. I was like, look, if you're spending like a few hours a week per business, or half a day per business, you could easily do 10 clients. And so he then, and good on him, because I say the same stuff to everyone, and very few people do actually action the stuff I say. He went out and did it. He got 10 clients paying £500 plus VAT per month. Boom, £5,000 a month. And then he was like, okay, I need to grow this now. And so he then started doing what he did in his old job. He got, subbies basically. He got a client on for 500 quid a month plus VAT, and he couldn't be asked to do that 3 hours of work per week. So he got someone else to pay £10 an hour to do, whatever, not data entry, but what. So he's now got a nice chunky business. That's profit from day one. So yeah, obviously I can't give everyone a business that will work. I mean, I've got all sorts of things that I could do, or there's lots I can't do, but yeah. So if money is the thing, you got to be profitable from day one. Like if I lost, it's weird how I have this weird sort of negative thoughts. I have a lot of negative thoughts actually, and one of them is always goes around is that when is this going to pop for me? When am I going to lose everything? Because I do take some risks because I'm relatively young. I've got time on my side, and so I always think, if I lost everything, what would I do? And I would just simply haul myself out as a digital marketing person. I could do Facebook ads for people. I could find 10 people to pay me 200 quid a month. If it was really up shit's creek, I could find 10 people to pay me 200 quid a month, and I'd just do all their Facebook ads for them. Or, hell, yeah, whatever. So there's loads of stuff you can do. Arvina, I can mitigate health issues with eating right. Yep. Yeah, I bet you can. Sleep more. Adam says, you can, this is Adam's field actually, intelligent eating. You can offset some health issues with eating right, but you can't offset the damage from stress, lack of sleep, relationships. Yeah, I completely agree. Sam said, I lost a significant relationship through setting up a business and time with my kids. Word. That happens all the time. I only care about my small kids' relationships. Yeah. It was so cool. So yesterday, there's way you actually think about stuff. So Ellie and I, we got downstairs, we watched half an hour of a Netflix thing that we're watching. And then the kids just erupted. They both just like screaming endlessly. And then she was up there for ages trying to put them down. Then eventually we were all in the bed. And I was like, this is actually awesome. Like my 4-year-old is crying his heart out because he wants his daddy to cuddle him. And I was like, screw Netflix. This is awesome. So I then spent 2 hours just lying with him, cuddling him. I know that when he's like 10 years old, he won't be doing that. So yeah, small people are awesome. Sam, depends on the business. Mine was a huge project that started to go sideways of bankruptcy looming. Yeah, avoid J-curve businesses. And I've said this before, J-curve business is where you have to plow loads of money in at the beginning. And so you're minus money. And you, with the hope that you're in profit in the future. A restaurant, a pub, prime examples of a J-curve business. And the thing is, with most J-curve businesses, you end up minus money straight away. And most people never get the J bit. They end up just doing a diagonal line down. And then it's game over. So Tom Grange, that's what you underestimate, Simon. Whether it's down to the military or comes naturally is by the by. Your emotions are much more under control than the average person. And this is a key to what's aided you to get to success. I think it's just the mother market has battered me senseless. I've lost so much money in the markets. It's just probably desensitized me to everything. I'm yet to find anyone that can train you to become less emotional and more logical. I really think I've trained. I think trading is probably the thing that's done it, to be fair, mate. Yeah. You can. I think it's just years of rewiring myself, years of losing money on the markets and going, oh shit, I've lost again. Like in the early days, don't get me wrong. I'd have weeks of depression. I probably can't even call it depression. Depression is a long-term thing. It's a chronic thing. I would have acute depression, I would say, where, go back 10 years, I'd lose like $2,000 in a week, which is, 50% of my life savings. And then I'd be like, depressed for a week going, oh my God, the world's going, collapsing in on me. I've lost half my life savings in a week, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, I'd have a week of pain. Or there'll be other, and then I would compound it. There'll be times where I'd make 1,500 quid in a week, which is like, I've doubled my account in a week. I'd go home. This was when I was in the Air Force. I was like a 20-year-old idiot. And I'd be saying to my mates, hey, check out my phone. I made 1,500 quid this week from trading, or actually in a few days from trading. And then I go and spend 800 quid on a night out going drinks on everyone. And it was, trying to be a ball and see who could get the biggest bar bill. And then come Monday morning, my trades bomb. So I didn't, and so they were floating profits. So I'd be floating 1,500 quid of profits. Sunday night markets open, I lose or I get break even. So then, I haven't actually made anything, and I've actually just lost 800 quid on a stupid night out, and stuff like that. So I actually think I think more people should learn how to trade, not to make money, but just to get around the whole mindset shit. It is the best roller coaster. In fact, go and put a large amount of money on Dogecoin right now. That's a good starter for 10. And watch your money go wee in profit and then wee in no profit. Yeah. Chris says, this is why trading isn't for everyone. A lot is done to mindset. Yeah. Alexander, there's a popular Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. I agree. And your business is actually like the Chinese bamboo tree. It's my favorite analogy. If you want to plant a Chinese bamboo tree, you have to plant the seed and you have to water it every single day without fail. If you miss the watering day, it's game over. The seed just dies to a degree. And then within the first year, a little pea shoot comes out. And it's like a few little leaves. And you're watering every day. And people are like, oh, how's your bamboo tree going, Siam? Your little pea shoot. 2 years down the line, you're still watering this bloody thing, and it's still like 1 inch tall. But what's happening is that for the next 5 years, so the first 5 years, nothing happens. You have the little pea shoot, and for 5 years, jack shit happens. But what's happening is it's growing down. It's creating this vast root network, which you can't see. And at some point in year 5, it grows 130 feet in 5 weeks. It's ridiculous. You can hear bamboo grow. Find it on YouTube. You can see it growing. Like, I think that their average stats, 130 feet of growth in 5 weeks is insane. And so the question is, like, did it take 5 weeks to grow 130 feet? Or did it take 5 years to grow 130 feet? The real answer is it took 5 freaking years to grow 130 feet. And it's just like that in business. You see a business explode overnight, so it seems. And they sold a business for £20 million. Well, yeah, the deal maybe took a year to get over the line, but it's actually the business has been going for 15 years. So yeah, very similar. Arvina said, Adam, are you alkaline eater? You do intelligent eating, right? There's no answer. Okay. There's no answer to that. I don't. Adam said, hi, Simon. When you had your Tesla, did you lease through the business as a tax break? How did that work out? Yeah, Timmy, the Tesla, I got as a business PCP or hire lease. I can't remember. But long story short, I could offset 100% of the car's value against my profits. So it was £124,500, which meant it wiped off £124,500 worth of profit. And therefore, it saved me roughly 25 grand in corporation tax that year. So that's how I did it. And then it got to the end of the 4-year lease, end of 2019, and I gave it back. Yeah. So that's it. And then I'm ignoring whether to get a new car, and I haven't. I do literally 1 mile of driving a week. It's ridiculous. It's to Tesco Express down in Heatherset just to get my groceries. Wearing my pajamas because I don't give a shit these days. I literally go to Tesco in my pajamas these days. Or my onesie or whatever. Sam says best. Yeah. So yeah. I'm not carless. I got to run around, but I just don't need a fancy car. I much prefer to buy a helicopter. That's actually my next on my list. A helicopter. There's some pretty cool things in happening in the helicopter scene at the moment, like a massive reduction in the cost of owning a helicopter. In fact, I'll show you. It's the Hill C50 Hill helicopters. This is the bad boy I want. I'll put it in the Zoom chat. It's insane how cheap this helicopter is. Like normally that type of helicopter with those specs would cost probably 2-3 million up front and then a lot of running costs. Whereas this, the running costs are just ridiculously cheap and it's sexy. I want that. I want it in my garden. Then I'll just fly to the golf course. I don't know. So what other questions are there? Jamie, how would you approach needing a profit from day one if you don't have money to spend on advertising? Yeah, it's that delicate balancing act. You've got to maintain your job. That's the key thing. You need cash flow for sure. And then you've got to set up your side hustle. And you need to get it profitable over time. But it's that delicate balance between juggling your business and your side hustle. It's tough. Oh, okay. Rachel said, I mean this with no disrespect intended. Cool. Okay, this is going to be brutal. What is it? Have you ever thought about doing these meetings with dialogue with others in the meeting rather than just us listening to you? I'd love to hear other people's input. Yeah, I think that's, you know what? It's what I've been meaning to do. And I just can't help but, yeah, I need to shut up, basically. I 100% agree, Rachel. I really do. So yeah, let's go through the questions actually and then open it up. I can't find the space. Okay. Tom, anyone looking at a service-based business with no money, just pick up the damn phone or send emails. You have internet and a phone, don't you? Adverts just stream that process. Yeah, literally. You just got to go for no. Like aim, whatever you do, you're at least going to get a 1% conversion rate. I don't care what it is. If I wanted to get a business to give me, $2,000 a month for business consultancy or social media managing or whatever, like I would literally, if I contacted 100 companies of that, that target market, one's going to say yes. You're just going to hit the phones. I completely agree. Right, so Facebook has had a whole bunch of questions. Yeah, so Rachel, in fact, what we'll do, we will, with these sessions, I will open up even more. The reason why it's been sort of me on Transmit is that in the early stages of me doing these daily sessions, I'd be like, right, what do you all think, people? And we freaking cobwebs and tumbleweed. No one would say a thing and horrible silences. So then I just started filling the gaps. But now there's more people joining the Zoom chat. I mean, there's 24 here on Zoom. There's, I don't know how many on Facebook, 18 on Facebook, and YouTube has 22 on YouTube. So we're getting more people. So now we're getting sort of 20, 30 people on Zoom. We can open up the chat and actually, hopefully people will actually talk. So, but for today, we're just going to go through these questions for the moment. But yeah, it'll be like an informal mastermind session, I guess. Tara, what's your thoughts on Facebook marketing for B2B products or services? Yeah, they work 100%. Again, I can't go too specific because every business is different. Richard, the Kickstarter route is the way forward. Pre-orders, no or limited stock until you reach a set target. Just marketing to create market share. Yeah. However, the thing is, a lot of people are put off with Kickstarter type campaigns. They don't want to put money and buy something and to get the product 6 months down the road. There's a big shift. And plus, I bought a whole bunch of stuff from Kickstarter projects, and I still don't have the stuff because the companies just fold, and then a lot of the time they take your money. Yeah, Ellie doesn't watch this. One of Ellie's things is that she really wants to learn the piano. She's been saying it for friggin' years. And then an advert popped up on Facebook the other day called Zoomy, something like that. It's like a piano learning tool. I was like, oh, amazing. I went to buy it, and there's like a 6-month wait. I've got to, because it's not even out yet. I was like, screw that. So yeah, I'm a willing customer. I was willing to buy this thing for 300 quid or whatever the price was. But the fact that I had to wait 6 months, screw that, move on. So you've got to be careful whenever you do your Kickstarter type thing, that the thing that you're selling isn't too far down the line. What other questions are there here? Richard, if you could, what top 3 business would you look to start? Oh man, that's different. Everyone is different. everyone has different skills and niches, but it would have to basically be a service-based business, like a payment plan business, a service business with payment plans, something like that. Yeah, it's tough. Jonathan Norcutt, I've heard that surround yourself with successful people, but what about your long-term friends who aren't successful in your perception? Yeah, it's really interesting. So, by the way, being not successful doesn't mean you're a bad person, which a lot of people, and I've seen this. I have seen people fire friends out of their lives because they were unsuccessful, and I think that's a bit shitty to do, if that makes sense. What I do, I fire people who are negative. I don't give a shit if you're successful or unsuccessful. I've got loads of friends who are, traditionally unsuccessful in business and money, etc. But they're really fun to hang out with. I don't give a shit how much money you earn. But if you're negative, I do give a shit. I don't surround myself with negative Nellies or naysayers and people who just project their self inadequacies on others. Yeah. And here's the thing, I've had long-term friends who are negative and gone down the negative route, and then I've just had to disassociate myself. But I've still got loads of mates who are unsuccessful, if that makes. And in fact, I feel really weird saying that. It's a horrible term, but yeah. But it's a bit like money. I've got different pots for different money and different investment pots, and people will have different pots of friends. It's no different. I've got my boozy friends who I love getting smashed with. I haven't got drunk in over a year, so I'm really wanting to party. I've got my business friends. I've got my trading friends. I've got my golfing buddy. Like, we all have different pots, don't we? And has anyone ever had a house party where you've invited all of your friends from all your different pots, and it's the most awkward thing ever? Have you ever done that? I have. You have your sensible friends along with your non-sensible friends, along with your your boozy animals, it's just, yeah. And they don't know anyone, and you're the only connection there, and it's just a really awkward party. I've had a few of them before. So YouTube wants the link to that helicopter company. Yeah, hillhelicopters.com. I want it, unless a quadcopter comes out, like a drone, like a human drone type thing comes out in the future. So Phil Carroll, trading has taught me lots. I now remove all emotion from it. Yeah. Buy a stock and hold as if I've already lost that money. Patience is generally the key, and ignoring the daily fluctuations in prices. Yep, that is bang on. That's exactly it. He then says, I'm starting to run some pre-IPO offerings. Is this something your crew would be interested in? No, I've done 3 seed IPO investments, and I'm not going to do it again. There are so many new companies coming to the official list now, and some winners. I've done 3 seed IPO investments. 1 went well, 2 went bad. It's just, I don't like locking up my money. That's all. That's a new strategy. They are waiting to build the course based on money up front. Most people want it now. Yeah. Mixed parties are hard work. Yeah. And Laura Wallington is here. Hello. I think I last met you when I was like 18 years old, pissed in a nightclub somewhere. Hi, Laura. So on YouTube, they said you mentioned you have 9 businesses. What sectors are you all in? Do they all feed into each other? No, they're not. So yeah, it's a good question, Streamline. There's a bunch of random businesses. They're mostly in the training and education space, but I have a few random ones which I'm trying to get rid of. But yeah, ideally, if you do have multiple businesses, they all need to do the same thing. They need to complement each other. I've said this before, like if you're a builder and you have a building company, the best damn company that you could buy or merge with or associate yourself with is an architect. Where do your leads come from? Typically an architect. And then let's say you have an architect business and a building company. Another good company to buy would be a plumbing company, an electrician company, a scaffolding company, a supply company. And before you know it, you're a facilities management business. You're not a building business anymore. So your exit multiple, your whole company is worth 10 times more because you're an FM business, not a building business. So it's all about the synergies. So yeah, that's that. Streamline, how do you take your dividends from your businesses? Like, what's your macro/optimization strategy for taking them? It's tough. So I've got Lifestyle Business Group and Scaling Business Group, I don't take any money at all from any of the scaling businesses, the ones I'm trying to grow fast. But the lifestyle businesses, I just take salary and divvies. Just, yeah, and I take the tax hit. I pay more tax than I should, to be honest. And yeah, I've got loads of friends that said, Simon, why are you still based in the UK tax wise? Like, you could save X pounds per year by just moving your affairs to Malta or Belize. Belize has amazing tax benefits. And yeah, I guess I could. I don't know. I've got an internal moral issue there that I just need to work out. But I do like the phrase, go to the countries that treat you the best. And at the moment, the UK is not treating its crypto investors very well, and it's not treating its business owners very well. I mean, hell, they're forcing us shut. Here's a travesty. I've got a mate who, you probably know him, Jimbo, James Sinclair. So he's got like a Marsh Farm, is like adventure farm park type thing. Anyway, lockdown happened, all sorts of bullshit stipulations came out that some businesses had to close, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, right, I'm going to change my whole business model and I'm going to turn my whole stuff into like a garden center. Because apparently Knockcuts was allowed to stay open. So he became a garden center. And guess what? He was forced to shut down. And he was like, wait a minute. The whole business, as you see it right now, is a garden center. It does exactly what Knockcuts down the road does. But he had to shut his business down, whereas Knockcuts was allowed open. Where's the justice in that? And as a result, he had to make a whole bunch of people redundant. Sucks. It's not fair. But hey. So yeah, I do like that. That's stuck in my head. Go to the countries that treat you the best. And at the moment, there are some countries treating business owners very well, unlike the UK. But then, yeah, it's that tax moral thing. I know there's a negative stigma there with running off to a different country so you don't pay tax when the country that you've been in has basically looked after you. You know, I don't know. I probably need to speak to a psychologist or a therapist or something like that. But yeah, that's just a mental, emotional, or not emotional issue. That's something else. What else is there? VeChain is my coin. Imam Al-Deeb said, yeah, VeChain's great. I like VeChain. Peanut Butter Jelly Time has said, Simon, what do you enjoy about running a biz? What do you hate about running a biz? I hate everything about running a business. Everything. Believe it or not, I hate running businesses. I can't stand it. The quicker I offload every business task to a team, the quicker, the better. My admin is a nightmare. The amount of unread emails I've got, unread WhatsApp messages and Facebook messages I've got is insane. I'm getting digital burnout at the moment, and I get stressed because there's so many people I'm not replying to. And then sometimes people get stressed because you haven't replied to them in a few days. You know, I've sent you this message. Why have you not replied? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I know it may seem like I'm fobbing you off, but I'm not. I'm burned out. I haven't got time. So that's that. Yeah. So in terms of, it's a good question. I don't like running businesses at all. So this is what, I've now got a new criteria. If I ever set up a new business, I'll set up the business from scratch with 5 staff minimum, an ops manager and head of blah, blah, whatever, is relevant for that business. And that ops manager will basically be, ops manager in training. It will basically be the general manager. I hate running businesses. I hate it. But I like playing with this is why I like Ellie's business. My fairy pen pal. I've got none of the operational bullshit in there. I'm just pulling the strings from behind the scenes, and it's great. And I've got none of the bullshit. I can play with the Facebook ads. I can drive as much traffic to it. I can help with the strategy stuff, but I've got nothing to do with it. And it's great. So I guess I want to be more of an investor than a business owner. Yeah. Right. I think that's all the questions on all the. Yeah. So Stuart Miles. So he's a fellow Age of Empires player. He's actually done really well. So I hope this is public knowledge. Stuart owned a whole bunch of, I think, is it dental practices? And then he sold up, got a bunch of money, and he's now set up a brand new business that, I don't think requires too much of your time, mate. Is that correct? Sorry, there is a lag on Facebook. Okay, so you sold one practice and now you're cash cash good, and then you've just out of boredom you've set up your other business. Yeah, mate, it would probably be good, mate. Stuart, it would probably be good if you and I, did one of these live sessions. And I mean, could I interview you? I think other people like other perspectives, Rachel especially. But it's good. I love chatting with other small business owners, because there's no point like listening to an interview with Elon Musk, etc., or whatever, because so many levels removed from us all. However, I think you get the real nuggets of knowledge when you find a business owner that sold, set up the business and sold it for 500 grand. Like, I think that's more relevant for people. So it'd be cool. But yeah, let's do it. What day is it tomorrow? Do you want to do it tomorrow? I've got nothing on. I don't know if you're free at 12 o'clock tomorrow, Stuart, but it'll be good to see what you did. Because, I don't know, bloody Facebook lag. But yeah, in fact, we'll chat online later, whenever you're free. Can't do Fridays. Okay, Monday or Tuesday, whenever. I'm open. By the way, I don't plan these live sessions. I sort of wait till sort of 10 minutes beforehand. Cool. Brilliant session. Yeah, let's call it a day. Oh yeah, Rachel, Lilium. I've been following Lilium. That is amazing, but it's probably going to be a bit out. It's going to be a while until you can buy a Lilium electric jet. It's not a jet. It's electric VTOL aircraft. It's amazing. Stuart said Tuesday at 12 in my diary. Boom town. I'm going to put it in my diary because I will forget. So Tuesday the 4th, I'm going to be interviewing Stuart Miles and how he grew his practice, how he sold it, and then how he then basically just ended up in this next business. Yeah, you didn't really do the retiring bit, did you? So yeah, Stuart could have retired and done nothing, but he's gone straight into another business. So, and that's what happens. Every business owner I know that sells a business, they go straight into another business, literally. So yeah. The Alexander said, I'm from Estonia and there's zero profit tax in Estonia if you reinvest all your profits. Also, they're very friendly towards crypto. Yeah. I mean, if I was a tiny country like Malta, Cyprus, or whatever, or hell, Estonia, I would just go, right, I'm going to open my doors for everyone, businesses and crypto investors. And guess what? You get so much more business that way. Sam, is Age of Empires the new golf? Yeah, I can do both. Great session. Cool. Right. I think that is... Jackie said, most entrepreneurs do. My dad is 85 and still going. Yeah. I think the moment you become mentally inactive, that's when you die, or when you start to die and wither away. Whereas all the old people I know that, are mentally sharp, they live a long time because they're always learning. I think that's the thing. Right. Yeah, Streamline then said, yeah, be careful. It can hurt your brand if you move to a tax-free place. Lots of people from your home country resent you. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I guess that's where the negative stigma comes from. Right, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to go and fry a couple of eggs and put them on a toasty waffle. And yeah, cover that with Maggi and ketchup. Right. I'll see you tomorrow. In fact, let's put it to the Zoomers. What do you want to talk about tomorrow on Zoom, folks? Up to you. Please don't say crypto. Don't say crypto. Don't say crypto. What do you want to talk about tomorrow, folks? Can someone suggest anything? Is anyone here listening? Wow. Not a single suggestion. Oh, Dread Daily. How to be less emotional. How to get business ideas. Maths behind determining selling prices. Okay, yeah. More business stuff. I like that. Right. Mindset. Yeah, let's do it. I'll see you tomorrow. 12 o'clock. I'll post out the link and yeah, chat soon.